Hi everybody, my name is Tom Haught. I'm from the law office, Gardi Haught. Some of you have already met me. We're going to talk to you for a few minutes about short sales today. This is as big as we can get the screen to go because of extension cord issues. That skunk, that is not indicative of the service my office provides. That's about short sales. Short sales get a bad rap, short sales stink. We're here to tell you that that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. And we're going to tell you how you can get short sales closed and make a lot of money. In 2009, during most months of 2009, about 3 out of every 10 deals on the MLS was a short sale. It was starting to come into the vocabulary. I've been a real estate attorney for 13 years, and when I heard short sale, I had to look it up. I had to Google it. I'll freely admit it. I'll bet some of you had to ask your broker or your managing owners what a short sale was several years back. No shame. But that was 2009. It's not 2009 anymore. Why don't you do this with me? For most months this year, 6 out of every 10 deals on the MLS is short sale, which means if you're trying to avoid them, you're avoiding 60% of the listings out there. It's too big. That's too many. If you want to avoid 60% of the business out there, you gotta find something else to pay the bills. 60% is just too big of a number. Go to the next one. The time it takes to get a short sale approved is where my office comes in. Most studies suggest that it can take up to 35 hours to get one short sale approved. On the low end, it's 30 hours. On the high end, it's 35 hours. If you guys have 30 or 35 hours to spend on telephones, banging heads with lenders to get short sales approved, then you don't need the help of my office. But where my office comes in is I have 4 full-time negotiators. All they do, morning till dark, is bang heads with lenders. They're on the phones with lenders getting those short sales approved. If you're doing it yourself, you handcuff yourself to the desk. Anyone looking at that slide who has a dirty image, knock it off. The handcuffs are just indicating that you're being handcuffed to your desk. This is not that kind of presentation. 35 hours, 40 hours to get one short sale approved. What my office wants you to do is we want you to get a contract, hand it to us, hand us our short sale package that we've given to you today, and go get another one. Do what you're good at. Show houses, list houses, sell houses, not bang heads with lenders. That's what we're good at, and that's where we can help you out. The way we can do it a little bit better than anybody else you've ever talked to, attorneys or third-party negotiation companies, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, because we do so many, Chicago Title allows us to do HUDs on our computers, on our desktop. So when a lender calls me and says, Tom, we're $50 high on line 1105, I don't call the title company. I don't submit a new closing statement for them to send me a new preliminary HUD 3 days later. I do it on my laptop, on my desktop. And before I hang up the phone with the lender, I say it's in your inbox. 1105 is $50 lower. Let's get this short sale closed. The other way we do it better than anybody else is we're adequately staffed. I have 14 full-time employees. When everybody else was cutting down in this economy, my lunatic partner kept hiring on. 4 full-time negotiators, 4 attorneys. At every one of our closings, an attorney sitting there, not an envelope. I know every one of you have been to a closing where the seller's side over there is a manila envelope. And then there's a little problem. Envelopes don't fix problems. People fix problems, attorneys fix problems. And every buy, sale, commercial, residential, that my office closes, there's an attorney sitting there to smooth out those last minute wrinkles and get deals closed. We don't want them blowing up at the beginning, and we sure don't want them blowing up at the closing table. And it's happening more and more when the only representative of one of the sides is an envelope filled with documents. There's also third-party negotiation companies doing this. A lot of them are out of state. There's a ton popping up in Florida for whatever reason, and the reason is liability laws. There's a lot in Michigan, there's a lot in Wisconsin. Third-party negotiation companies don't know how we do it in Illinois, bottom line. You talk to third-party negotiation companies and then you explain to them, well, in the state of Illinois, we pay taxes 1 year in arrears, and their head blows up. They don't even know what you're talking about. My partner at 10 had a deal. We were closing in Naperville. We were on the buy side. So there's only so much we can do. Usually we're not authorized to talk to the sellers of the bank. We're not authorized to talk to the third-party negotiation company. We get to 6 months. And Hiten said, that's it. It's too long. Called the sales attorney and demanded to be able to speak with a third-party negotiation company. It was an outfit up in Michigan. They gave permission. Hit called. This deal is 6 months old. We're closing in Naperville. The numbers work. What's going on? The short sale lender is not happy paying transfer taxes. Remember where I said we were closing? Naperville. Buyer stamp. Buyer stamp. Hit 10 had to explain to them in Naperville it's a buyer's municipal transfer stamp, and we closed 5 minutes later. These parties that try to negotiate deals out of state, they're a waste of your time, they're a waste of your seller's time. Go to the next slide. We do everything in-house. We use no third-party negotiation companies. We went to a seminar with a third-party negotiation company. This guy was a Texas guy. And Hit 10 said, well, what do you charge? He said, I charge 3% of the purchase price. So if you're lucky enough to have a $300,000 deal, he walks away with $9,000. The way he gets paid is the seller gives the buyer closing cost credit and on the contract, and then on the HUD it shows the buyer pays the third-party negotiation company. So we can have an argument whether that's a RESPA violation. I think it clearly is. We can have an argument whether you could find a bank that would allow a buyer to get a $9,000 closing cost credit. I argue good luck that you could not find one. And you certainly couldn't find one that would then allow it to be paid to this third-party negotiation company. So Hit 10, who likes to be a little bit of a smart aleck, raised his hand and said, well, what if we're off a few $100? Is your fee negotiable? My fee is not negotiable. That's what the realtors are for. That's what the answer was. My office maintains your 6%. The way we do that is because we do everything in-house. If I want you my last 10 HUDs from my last 10 sales, my attorney's fees are different on every single one of them. The reason why? Because we get to the last minute and the bank says, Tom, we're short $500. My office pays it. We get to the last minute, the seller can't afford the transfer stamp, my office pays it. There's a water lien. It's a Chicago property, there's a water lien. If the short sale lender is compensating my office 1 penny, and that penny's needed to get the deal closed, my office does it, you won't even know about it. I won't call you, I won't tell you, you don't care, you want your 6%, I understand that. Nobody gets paid unless the deal closes. Now if the short sale lender allows me to get compensated, let's say they'll allow me to get compensated $500, and then they say, you know what, we're $500 short, we need to find $500 somewhere. I give it up. I give my $500, my attorney's fees are zero. Then, if Tom, there's a $50 water lien, we have to figure out how to pay it, only then will I pick up the phone and tell you, listen, we have an issue. Will you contribute $25 if the buyer's agent will contribute $25, but only after my attorney's fees have been zeroed out.
I've never heard that in my life, ever. In 40 years, thank you.
We do more short sale closings than anyone in the Chicagoland area, and that's one of the reasons why.
That is strong, my friends.
The other thing we do that a lot of attorneys don't do is give you good weekly updates about what's going on. And with your permission, we'll also update the buyer's agent so you don't have to deal with them. A lot of our listing agents want to be in total control, and we only update them, and then they keep their client informed, they keep the buyer's agent informed. But a lot of our listing agents says, Tom, when you send me an email about the BPO's getting done, we finally been the signing negotiator, please just CC the buyer's agent because he's driving me crazy. We'll do that for you too. Would you go to the next slide? This is the house we want to show the lender. It's a real dog. And there's a couple of ways we do that. Number one, good handwritten hardship letters. No typewritten hardship letters, no canned hardship letters. I want your client to put pen to paper. It's what the realtor, it's what the lender wants to see. They do not want to see canned answers. They do not want to hear about the properties upside down. That's not a hardship in the lender's book. If we were back in 04 and 05 and the property skyrocketed in value, your client's not sending more money to the bank. So the bank doesn't want to hear that the property went down in value. It's 2011. They know it. They want to hear hardship. The obvious ones, medical issues, divorce, loss of job, job reduction. Sometimes there's some not so obvious ones, and sometimes your clients need assistance in drafting an eloquent hardship letter, and my office would be happy to help. We meet with them before listings, during contract negotiations, to help them put a hardship letter together. BPOs, I beg you to be at the BPO. I won't let it happen without you knowing. I want you to meet the BPO agent out there. I want you to give him comps if you have them, and I want you to utter the purchase price of the property you got. I want that guy to know you're the luckiest guy, you're the luckiest realtor in the world to get that price for that doghouse. And when he says, oh, I don't want to hear it, I'm the BPO agent, I don't want to hear what the contract price is, I just want you to say it a little bit louder. If he plugs his ears, then I want you to scream. I want you to plant the seed of the purchase price. It's human nature, it's going to help you out. It's going to help get the deal closed. It's going to get that BPO number to come in where we need it to.